Hello, my name is Eduardo Costa. I am the founder of Mube, and in this case, more specifically, I am the creator of the Mube.On App. So, just like you or your client, I used to be a real estate agent, and in my day-to-day life, I came up with the problem that I had just way too many sparse notes and texts all around the place. So when I contacted a client and had to keep his information, I would start in my phone notes, I started in a notebook, whatever came up to hand. I wanted to keep track of my routines, and although I did have a calendar and I could keep track of some stuff, I would easily get lost and not have a way of realizing I'm doing all that I set up to, not doing everything. And I could have bought a CRM, which there are plenty, and I recommend you search throughout the many CRMs there are to see which one caters more to your needs. But especially when I was just starting out, they all seemed either too expensive or too complicated to get into. So since I had all these problems and I think just a few tasks that I wanted to get a solution for, I decided to create this app, Mube.On, in order to solve them. In the homepage or the working hub, you have access to all the external tools you may need for your business, namely a link to Google Calendar, links for your company's pages. In my case, it was Century 21st, and I set up links to their main platform, their email, the listings, and my agency listings specifically. After that, I had access to all the search engines. In the app template, I used Zillow and Realtor.com as examples because they're more famous in other countries. But below that, I had one which I in fact did use, which is Imo Virtual. And I just set up links to their main page, my saved searches, so I would keep up with all the new searches every morning from my clients, and my listings page. Below that, I had links to news sources so I could see them in the morning and share them to my socials. And lastly, I had some links of platforms I used like ChatGPT and Canva, with also the option to add a few more as they came up. On the next page, the clients page, you could see the number of clients you have. So it's divided between buyers, sellers, renters, and rentees. You can also see your clients specifically and add new clients, which I will show after. And below that, you can see the table of all the clients you have. I put this here just so you could also have a table that you can copy and put it in an Excel if you want to manage it there. When you add a client, you can put all his information. So namely, and in this scenario, let's say we are talking with the client on the phone, we put it on speaker. And so we can put the name, the phone number, everything. Let's say he's a buyer. We can also add how many rooms he's looking for, what's his budget, the location, the specifications, and also some observations that come up during the conversation. When we submit, we will have a profile created. And here we have the option to keep up with everything that's going on with the client. So namely, if we click on this arrow, we will see what phase the client is in, if they are a potential client, if they're a related client or a future client. We'll see the finances, and also in which phase of the process are we with him. This will change between buyer and also between seller, so adapted to their specific case. Below that, you can see the client info that we wrote before, and you can change this at any time in the edit table or right here. For instance, the observations, you can change it. The main advantage here is that you have everything here perfectly made, so that you can just click a button and call him, send him a message, send a message through WhatsApp, or just send an email, provided you have all this information. You can also copy the contact, so you can easily create a new contact on your phone, and if the client calls you, you know who is. Below this, you also have the calendar, just so let's say you are talking with him in the speaker, you created the profile already, and you want to register something before you forget it. Just click on the calendar and you put it immediately, and it will surely lead to better outcomes and less forgetfulness. Now, also in this section, you have an activity registry where you can just register the things you have done with him. So if you call them, if you set up a visit, things like that, just so you can keep up and you keep track of everything you've done. And in the edit page, you can add some new search links. So in the search platforms, if you set up some specifications, you can copy the link and put it here. So when you come to this client's file, you can just press a button and go directly to the client search. And even more specifically, you can also have links of interest. So some properties that you like, just copy the link, go to the edit page, paste it there, and you will see here the links of interest, so you can send to the client. I will show you after, but all of this data that you put with your client, namely the budget, they will all count towards potential invoices, so the potential money you can make. But if you think this is kind of an iffy client, it seems like he's invested but not that much, you can just put do not count towards potential invoices and it will not count. And to end this page, when you close a deal, you have here the closed deal data, and you can just put that the business is closed, the commission in which you closed it. If it was a full deal, so let's say if you shared it with another agent, which part came to you. Let's say if it's 50-50, you put 50. If it's you had both the seller and the buyer, you put 100%. And my part, so what money goes directly to you, gross profit in this sense, and not just to the agency. Now let's go to the finances page, and in this page you can set up which is your financial goal for the year, and then you can also click on the button just to hide it. It's more aesthetically pleasing, and you will see what's your yearly goal, what's the progression towards your objective, what's your gross profit, potential invoices, potential gross profit, the average invoice per deal, the number of deals to achieve the objective, tons of data. And also at the end, close deals. Just search the app, you'll find tons of data that will be available for you. On the links page, the page was made so you can keep up of all the links that are important to you and give them to your clients. So you can add them here. Once you edit them, it'll only appear to edit, and you can add an agency address, an office address if you have one, and a cafe address. So let's say this is the cafe that you want to usually make more deals, or you invite clients to go into. And you can also add your socials, so Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, or your website. This was made so you can both copy and send it to a client, but also just access it directly. Let's say you are on your computer, you will have access here, or let's say even you don't have one of these apps, you can access them just by clicking a button. On the FSBOS page, or for sale by owners, you can create profiles of contacts that you have seen in platforms, in real estate platforms, that allow you to see people that are selling by themselves. You can call them, and here you can keep track of the information, namely their name, their contact, the price they're selling their home, the rooms, the location, and you can also put some observations by how many times, like how long have they been selling it. And you can also register here the links for the search platform. Let's say you were using X platform that showed you all the people that are selling by themselves. You can put a link there, and you can also put the link to the real estate platform that is selling the house. So in this case, let's say you have the link to Realtor or to Zillow, where you can see the advertisement. On the properties page, I know the video is long, bear with me. You can create the profile for your apartments or whatever you're selling. This will allow you to keep track, namely, of the leads that come up. So you can add new leads, and there you can manage it. So you can have the contacts of the lead, and you can just press buttons to call them. Same structure as it was in your clients. But also, and I think more interestingly, you can also create a viewing feedback. So if they view your house, and you can create here a viewing file, which you can later send to like a screenshot, or just tell to the seller what was their feedback, or just to keep track of their feedback. You can also have here in the main page the links to the advertisements, and also a message on first contact that you can set up. On the messages page, you can set up messages to send to clients. So you can just write them beforehand, and when Christmas comes up, let's say, you can send them to them, and you have tons of specific and general holidays, while also some real estate moments for your clients, while also having messages to colleagues. So at the very end, and we come to the end of this explanation, we have the routine / agenda. This is divided day by day, and you can go there and set up what tasks you had need to do, and just then press OK, I have done it, and keep track of everything you have to do and get that satisfaction with the tick. And that's it. That's Move On. Hopefully it sparked your interest. If so, and you came from the template section from Glide and you're just watching this video trying to figure out what it is, hopefully all questions were answered and you can easily change anything you want to, because the app, it's basic, it doesn't have many huge calculations or things you need to understand. If you don't understand how to use Glide and you came here just from YouTube or from any other place, you can just call me and I will help you make the app make more sense to you. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, hopefully it helped answering everything, and more even so, hopefully I will help you in your real estate endeavors.